Okay, so lesson 18, example 4. So this one says factor the following simple trinomials. So our first example says y squared minus 8y plus 15. Now over here, I added this from the lesson. It says the two numbers multiply to give you positive 15. So they multiply to give you positive 15 at last term. That means that the signs are the same because it's a positive, right? Because negative times negative gives you positive, and positive times positive gives you positive. So because it's a positive 15, we know that the two numbers have to be the same. Next part, since it's a positive 15, then they have to add up to give us negative 8, okay? So that means that they're both going to be negative. Okay, so we know they both have to be the same, and now we've just figured out that they both have to be negative because our middle term is a negative 8. So off to the side, I just like to start off. I could do 1 times 15, that gives us 15. But if they were both negative, that would give us negative 16. So it's not that one. 2 times anything give us 16. Okay, so, or sorry, 15. Nope, there's nothing there, so we're not going to count that one. 3 times 5 gives us 15. And if you were to add them all up, if they were both negative, that would give us negative 8. So we have figured it out. So now we open up our bracket, okay, our double bracket. And we have y in both of them because that's the variables that we were given. Okay, so now all we do is we take negative 3 goes in the first one, and negative 5 goes in the second one. Order doesn't matter there. We could have switched these, but as long as you have a negative 3 and a negative 5, you have the correct answer. Let's go to the next one. B, x squared minus 12x plus 32. I added this in just to help us with the puzzle. The two numbers multiply to give us positive 32, okay? Means the signs are the same, okay? So they're either both going to be positive or both going to be negative. Now, this middle part right here, it says, since it's 32, we already know that, they add to give us negative 12. So if they add to give us negative 12 and they both have to be the same, that means both numbers have to be negative. So off to the side, I like to just do my little math. So I could have 1 times 32. If they were both negative, that would give me negative 33. Next one, 2 times 16 gives us 32, and if they were both negative, we would have 18, negative 18. 3 times anything give you 32? Nope, not without getting a decimal. We don't want decimals. What about 4? 4 times 8 gives us 32. And if we were to add those up, 4 plus 8, that gives us 12. And with them both being negative, it gives us our negative 12. So we have found our winners. So open up your double brackets. Because we are dealing with x's, we know that we put an x at the front of each one. And then we fill it in. One bracket gets a negative 4. One bracket gets a negative 8. So negative 4 and negative 8. Easy peasy. Okay, next example. C, x squared plus 3x minus 10. I added this in just to help you. The two numbers multiply to give you negative 10. This means that the signs are different. Remember, a negative times a positive gives you a negative, or a positive times a negative gives you a negative. So they're different, okay? But, so we know since it adds up to give you negative 10 at the back, they subtract to give you plus 3, and we know that because of this middle term. So the difference has to be plus 3. And because it's a plus 3, it means that your bigger number is going to end up being positive. So let's figure it out. At the side, I could have 1 times 10 gives me 10. And because we said the difference is 3, that means your bigger number would be positive, okay? And your smaller one would be negative. So if you were to add that up, we'd have this one as a negative. So 10 minus 1 gives us 9. Okay, so that's not 3. So let's go to the next one. Okay, 2 times 5 gives us 10. And if we were to add them up, remember the signs are one of each. So we would give the 2 a negative and leave the 5 positive. Okay, and then so 5 minus 2 gives me 3. So this is my winner. So I open up my brackets, and we're dealing with x's. So I'm going to put in an x at the front of the bracket, and then we fill in one bracket gets negative 2, and the other bracket gets plus 5. So let's add it in, negative 2 and plus 5. All right, last example. D, t squared minus 4t minus 21. And once again, I took this from the notes to help you. Just a little reminder. It says the two numbers multiply to give us 21. So they're multiplying to give us our final answer of 21. Means the signs are different. So it's one of each again. Now we need to figure it out. It says since it's negative 21, they subtract to give us negative 4. And they got that because of this middle term here. So they added up, or they multiplied to give us 21, and they add up to give us negative 4. So because it's a negative 4, we know that the larger number is going to be negative. Okay, so we know there's one of each sign, but the largest number is going to be negative. So first things first, I always do 1. 1 times 21 gives you 21. And remember, the largest number is going to be negative. So it would be 1 minus 21 would give us negative 20. That's not negative 4, so we don't want that one. Next one, 2 times something. Well, 2 does not work, so it's not that one. Let's do 3. 3 times 7 gives us 21. Let's see if it adds up to give us negative 4. If we were to give the larger number, the minus 7, 3 minus 7 gives me negative 4. Woohoo! You found it. Okay? So, easy peasy. Open up your two brackets. Our variable in this case is a t, so they both get t's. And one gets a positive 3, one gets a negative 7. So, one gets a positive 3, one gets a negative 7. And that's your final answer. So once you start getting the hang of these, they are kind of fun. So yeah, just keep watching the videos over and over until it makes sense to you. And then you can work on the classwork. Have a good one. Bye.